Hey, I'm about to go over the 10 things that you need to succeed your first 6 months in the insurance industry. I believe the first 6 months is the hardest time frame of any other tenure, and I'm about to get you exactly what you need to succeed at a very high level, or at least survive, right? And maybe even thrive instead of failing. I do want to stop and mention that we have our 8% virtual conference coming up in like 40 something hours. Friday, March 10th. You can click the link below or go to 8percentvirtual.com to register for $8. We've got 13 speakers, 8 hours of content. It's going to be a phenomenal day. I'd love to invite you and have you a part of that 8% virtual conference. You can tune in from anywhere, and right now, it's still only $8. Okay, so 10 things you need to succeed in your first 6 months. Number one is a strong work ethic, right? When I look back over my first year as an agent, I was in college. I was playing basketball. I was cold calling and cold door knocking, but I had to work. Like, it takes some grit. It takes some determination. If you ever listen to our Power Player podcast or these different people that we interview, they had a strong work ethic, right? I mean, in your first 6 months, you're going to have to do things that you do not want to do. You're going to have to get uncomfortable. It's not going to be easy, but I can tell you it is going to be extremely, extremely rewarding. And so number one is a strong work ethic, as that's super important. Number two is a clear business plan. As an example, there's things that you need to figure out, like what lead am I going to use? How am I getting in front of people? What's my sales process going to look like? What activity am I trying to hit every week? So as an example, and you'll hear this from some of our speakers at the 8% Virtual Conference, or at any of our conferences, but what I focused on was setting 15 appointments per. Here's my business plan. I book 15 appointments, I sit with 10, and I sell 5. That was it. That was the plan. Right? And as long as I did cold calling and cold door knocking, I even brought over college students to my office to cold call with me to book appointments. That was my business plan, though, because I knew if I sat down with 10, and it could be, actually ran 10 virtual meetings, but I think you can accomplish this part-time, by the way. But when I did this and I asked 10 people to buy life insurance every week, I made $2,000, and I just did that every week. Right? And most weeks went very well because of that. So number two, clear business plan. Number three is effective communication skills. So effective communication skills are critical for success. Being able to communicate with random people that you've never met, that don't know you, that are maybe scared of you, that are not scared of you, right? Or that don't want to talk to you, or that do want to talk to you, whatever. Being able to communicate with them is really, really, really important. So I'll give you a couple of tricks for effective communication skills. Number one is you actually want to talk less than your prospect, right? It's especially in a sales scenario. It's so easy to just think the gift of gab is a freaking blessing, but it's really a curse. And so slow down, listen, ask good questions, and get your prospect talking more than you, and it will make it easy to communicate at a high level. Because it's interesting when we don't know what to say and they ask us a question, or we're like trying to figure out where to pivot as we're on this sell, we tend to talk too much. If you don't know what to do or don't know what to say, instead of just continuing to talk, stop, ask a question, and pivot and throw the baton back to them so they can start talking once again. Okay, so number three is effective communication skills. Number four is way more important than you think, which is a positive attitude. A positive attitude can help agents overcome obstacles and consistently find success, because there's so many days. I mean, it could be, insurance, it could be cleaning offices, it could be, traveling and speaking. It doesn't matter. Like, could be, editing videos, copywriting. Like, it doesn't matter what you're doing in life. A positive attitude can go so much farther, because but it's interesting because it's so easy to be negative, right? I talk about it when I speak, but one of the first things we do is we wake up, we open our phone, we go to Facebook, and we just start scrolling through social, right? And it's like, unless you've unfollowed people, you're going to have tornadoes and deaths and, just negative stuff going on that you're consuming your brain with to start your day. And so being positive, listening to the right stuff, pouring in your brain, and choosing to be positive. We have a no negativity allowed policy in our office. When someone walks through the doors of our office, it's their job to put everything that is going on in their life out of their head and stay extremely positive for the day. So 4 is a positive attitude. Can't stress that enough. Number 5 is strong networking skills. A lot of new agents will join networking groups or BNI or Mob, or like my father actually started his own networking group. He's actually going to talk about this on the virtual conference too. And he started his own networking group He's done over $1 million a year in commissions out of that group for years because he refers them, they refer him, and he actually built his own networking group. So maybe that's a side note, which is cool. Number 6, a willingness to learn. One of the first things we look for, actually in my office, we look for, when I first start to train a new salesperson, my initials are Cody Edward Askins, so CEA, and we talk through that. C is coachable, E is energy, and A is activity. And when we talk about C, the coachability part, like nothing else matters if someone's got an ego or they don't listen or they think they've been in sales for 52 years and even though they haven't sold insurance before and they're just going to be amazing. It's like, that's not how it works. 92% fail. So the more coachable you can be, the more you can read books, right? Like I wrote a book for insurance agents, how to go from flat broke to earning 6 figures a year called 0 to 6 figures. You have to check it out on Amazon, but it's important, right? To constantly be learning and have a willingness to learn. That's super, super, super important. Number 7, attention to detail. I'll give you an example. There's an agent I'm thinking about that at times has written tons of insurance in their first year. They've been in the business about a year so far, maybe 14, 15 months now. But early on for the first 6 months, they would write a lot, but there was no attention to detail. They wouldn't check their pending. They wouldn't follow up with policy holders that were about to issue, and they would end up getting paid on like only 30, 40% of what they actually wrote. Think about this, having a phenomenal week, you go write 10 grand. Say it's it's your second month and you write 10 grand in a month, but you only get paid on 3 or 4 grand. That sucks, right? So attention to detail. Again, you're running a business, okay? Now, it doesn't mean you like run a business and you don't have a job anymore, so you don't have to like clock in. You can just do whatever you want and work whenever you want. No, again, reference number 1, a strong work ethic, right? But attention to detail is really important because when you're helping people, you're dealing with Social Security numbers, bank accounts, right? This is important information. So number 7 is attention to detail. Number 8 is a focus on customer service, right? This is how I actually just interviewed a gentleman from New York that talked about how to establish strong relationship with your clients. You're building a book of business. Why? Because you want policyholders to stay on the books, which is important so you don't get money charged back. You also want to get referrals from your current policyholders. And you want to be like known and referenced as doing a good job, right? And so customer service, follow up, really trying. That's basically what this is. It's trying, it's making sure that you're going above and beyond and trying to help them. Okay. Number 9 is a mentor or a coach. We're actually doing a new training class as well coming up soon where I'll be going over like 4 different, I'll be doing some group training where I can actually personally coach a bunch of agents. It'll be like 4 classes over 2 weeks on different topics. And so I'm mentoring and coaching a lot of agents around the country, right? Maybe it's me, maybe it's not, but you got to find someone, whether maybe it's an upline, maybe it's me online, maybe it's me in person eventually, maybe it's somebody else, but you got to have a mentor or coach that you can plug into that can provide guidance, support, and feedback to help you navigate all the stuff that's going on in the insurance industry, right? So mentor or coach is really important. And then number 10 is, I would say this can help you in various ways, right? I do think branding is important. I don't think this is the most important piece, but at some point it's going to be important for you, which is a strong online presence. Okay. I do think you should be sharing with people that you're starting the industry. I do think you should eventually, have an LLC and a logo and like, it just shows people around you in your world, your warm market, whatever, that you're taking this more seriously. Okay. So I think the occasional video or a picture with a new client that you just helped, you're putting it on social. You would have to, the more you can like be in front of your warm market and people on social, letting them know what you do when they need what you have to offer, maybe they'll think about you, right? Which is so important. And so this is 10 things you need to know to succeed your first 6 months. If you watch this before March 10th or on March 10th, you can go to 8percentvirtual.com to register for $8 for our virtual conference. We'll have thousands of agents all over the world and a crazy virtual experience. Or if you're watching this after March 10th and you're like, hey dude, I want to talk to you guys more, or you want to download some stuff for free, we've got a link below, CodyAskins.com/free. Thanks for watching. See you on the next video. Hey, if you enjoyed this, I got another one you're going to love. It's right there. Click on it. See you in there. Welcome back to How to Sell Life Insurance. This is going to be a video, like a recap video, and also some new training that I haven't released before on how to sell more life insurance. I did a video called How to Sell Life Insurance - Amazing. It looks like it was January.